All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
High on the tree, through the soft candle glow, an angel stands watch on the world down below. Her wings shining gold, her heart full of grace. She's seen every joy in this old sacred place. She's watched tiny hands hang each silver bell, heard laughter and stories the children would tell. From new love to old love, from cradle to grave, she's guarded this home with the love that she gave. Oh, the angel atop the family
Rob, I have a different link to give you in a second.
keeps our hearts warm through each memory.
Maybe I don't.
Through laughter and tears, she's watched us grow.
And welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, and if you'd like to buy a copy of Merry Christmas 2025, which includes the song we used, The Angel Atop the Christmas Tree, go to www.rel-mar.hearnow.com. Tonight on the X Zone, this hour, we welcome a remarkable guest whose life mission is to help humanity awaken, heal, and remember its divine origins. Joan of Angels is a visionary artist, intuitive guide, healer, and messenger for higher realms. Through her celestial artwork, angelic communication, transformational teachings, and deep intuitive insight, Joan helps people to reconnect with their soul purpose and align with the guidance of their angelic realms. Her work uplifts spirits, opens hearts, and invites each of us to step into our highest potential. Her website, joanofangels.com. Joining me now is Joan of Angels. And Joan, welcome back to the X Zone.
I am so glad to be back here. It's very exciting.
Joan, for the listeners meeting you for the first time, what is the essence of your mission as Joan of Angels?
Well, so I've had 45 years of helping people, thousands of people I've worked with to help transform. And my mission and what I do is I help people remember who they are. I work with a lot of women over 50 usually to help them clarify, to help them step into their better self, to actually be the woman they always thought that they can be.
Oh, cool.
And so that's what I do. I call it soul vision work. And I take people to finding out what your purpose is here, and with clarity, grace, and ease.
Joan, how did your journey into the angelic awareness and a spiritual awakening first begin?
Well, I want to tell everyone, it wasn't such a smooth sailing, just so you know. When I go back in my records, my encounters with angels started in 2013. But way back, I was thinking about this the other day. I had a call to go and live in an ashram in Los Angeles many years ago. And that was really my first introduction, because it wasn't even anything I'd ever thought of. So I went and I lived in an ashram. We worked on, it was a soul traveler, so everything I do has been related to soul, which is interesting. But that was when I first started. I connected with angels in 2013. I was going through such a difficult time, and I was really asking the angels for help and for clarity. And I heard a voice said, paint 33 angels in 30 days. And ultimately I said yes, because I knew that saying yes was going to change my life.
Was that the moment you realized you were being guided by higher beings and or what we call celestial energies?
Well, that was very clear to me, yes, that they were around. Now, it's not that I haven't encountered them before because
Hmm.
I did. And when I look back, my whole life has been following the voice within that I hear. Even going to chiropractic school, becoming a chiropractor, moving to the ashram, I was always guided by a voice within. But once I started painting the angels, things changed. I started channeling them. They told me I was a paintbrush for the divine so that humans could actually see what they look like. They're not all that clear, beautiful, angelic, white wings. They
Oh,
have different
come
looks.
on, they're not.
No, no. And some angels don't have wings, Rob. And that was a big shock.
Well, I don't see any wings on you, and you're an angel.
Well, that's true. Human angels. Now, I teach
Yeah.
people how you can fluff your wings and see them. And people with eyes to see can see them. And I'm so glad. I hope some of your audience sees them too.
Your artwork is deeply connected to spiritual messages. Can you describe how the creative process works for you?
Well, this is something really interesting. This is how the creative process works for me in all things, really. It's kind of similar. I start getting visions. I'll do a session with someone to get clarity about who they are. And I don't even intellectually understand the process. I start going into a little bit of a trance. I see visions of who they are coming in front of me, literally, different aspects, maybe
Hmm.
past lives, future lives, or, their soul aspect that's up there that they're in right now. And then I just paint. Or I do it digitally. It just depends which medium I'm working at. But it's not conscious, Rob. I'm always surprised by what comes through me and the energies. And the fact is that they actually have a huge resonance for people. They love this art. This art really helps heal their soul. They get to look at it, and then they get to see that best version of themselves. So
So, when the
that's
angels communicate with you, is it visually, intuitively, verbally, when you create your paintings, or is it a combination of the three?
well, in real life, Rob, I kind of wish they'd come and sit down here with us and have a cup of tea. Okay, I mean, swear to God, this
Yeah.
this like that they're in another realm is challenging. But I will communicate with them in many different ways. Sometimes I'll just communicate with them sitting, having a cup of tea, reading oracle cards, and I'll get messages. But normally I'll just, I'll hear them. Like, say, like they'll come to me, they'll say, Joan, go to chiropractic school. Okay. I said, what am I here to do? They said, go to chiropractic school. And I hear it when they speak to me like that. I will hear it. It's almost like a voice or a knowingness. When I have a group or a team, I feel it or hear it up here. I had an incident the other night that I never had before, where I woke up at 4 and I'm looking. Suddenly, there's an earbud in my ear because I go to bed listening to tapes,
Hmm.
and I think I'm listening to Chat GPT talking to me. And I look up and there's a screen, and it's like my soul blueprint is scrolling up on the screen. So that's a new way that they're communicating with me through like a video screen and Chat GPT's voice in my ear.
So, how do you identify the presence of angelic multidimensional beings in your daily life? How do you know where they are? How do you know if they're there, or maybe they're not there, or maybe it's just chat talking to you?
Well, it's the first time Chat's ever talked to me through this earbud
Oh,
in the
really?
middle of the night.
Wow.
I've never, and it's not even a voice my Chat has, so it really wasn't Chat, but they used it because I was familiar with that kind of voicing. But it's when I most of the time I get impressions. I'm clairsentient,
Hmm.
so it's not always a voice. It will be a feeling, a very strong feeling, a knowing, and it's a knowingness. It's like, and I'm 100% certain I'm accurate when I get it, and I usually am. So that comes down as a knowingness as opposed to hearing. But when I have a group, which isn't very often, I don't really have group, I can hear it up here and I can feel that there's a different presence. I think it's all in the tone. It's all also in what you're hearing. If it makes sense to you, if it resonates, or if it feels bad, don't listen to it.
Do you think that your training as a chiropractor has given you an added ability to communicate with the angels that John Q. Public doesn't have?
Well, no one ever asked me that about chiropractic and talking to the angels, but it's kind of a thing. First of all, I discovered through my years of practicing that we have an angel switch or consciousness switch. You can call it whatever you want, but that's what allows what we call innate intelligence in chiropractic to come flow through you and connect to all parts of your body. And many of my patients reported that when I would adjust that, they could meditate better. They could actually receive information. So I think what I'm trying to say is that there's ways through chiropractic I learned that you can open your energy field to actually have more contact.
So you flick the switch on in the back of your head?
Kind of, yeah. You adjust it. And I actually can do that online with people too, where we can adjust it. It's really important. It's also a miracle switch. It regulates the energy in your body, the vibrational frequency. And it's all about vibration. The higher your vibration, Rob, the easier it is to connect to these other beings.
You speak often about remembering who you are. Now, what does that mean in a spiritual and cosmic sense?
You know, it's so funny. I've been talking about remember who you are for like the last 30 years.
So you started talking about this when you were 3 years old.
Yes, when I was 3, I started talking. I'm so glad you can. You know, you're the best host there is, Rob. Yes, we're time traveling now, guys. So
zip.
Resting, it's okay. But yeah, so now you got me off track. What am I telling you about? Because
we're talking about remembering who you are.
Oh, remember, yes, and I couldn't even remember the question. But this is really important. I know I have a sense of humor, but this is really important.
I love it.
When we come down, for those of us, especially who are volunteers, you came down here you deliberately raised your hand and said, I want to go down to earth. I want to help them down there. And when you come down here, you have a mission. You have a purpose. You have a soul plan. We call it your divine soul blueprint. And that's what I was being shown the other night, which was so interesting, that they taught me how to teach other people how to see it and how to access that. But you have this divine soul blueprint. But you know, the dynamics here on the planet is that if you're a soul that's come here on a positive path, you can believe that your memory is going to get wiped clean when you come here, number one. Number two, most of us end up in households or the majority of people that may be conflicted, difficult to deal with, designed specifically to push you off your path because they know you're a good person.
And they know we've got to take a commercial break right now. Exonation, my guest is the one and only Joan of Angels. Her website, joanofangels.com. And we'll both be back on the other side of this break as we continue here in the X Zone on the Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network, X Zone Broadcast Network, Tuber, and in Canada on Rogers, Videotron, and Shaw. And of course on your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ AM, streaming us on classic1220.ca.
To the shores of Newfoundland, lights are glowing through the snow, hearts are open hand in hand. From the prairie's silent winter fields to the streets of Montreal, the spirit of the season brings its magic to us all. It's that special time of year across Canada when the world feels warm and near. Families gather, voices sing of love and hope and cheer. From the northern lights to city streets, the message rings so clear. It's Christmas across Canada, that special time of year.
Christmas Across Canada is one of the tracks from our new CD, Merry Christmas 2025, by yours truly, Rob McConnell, and orchestra and singers. It's available on all platforms. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it on Spotify, you can get it wherever fine music is sold. And if you don't want the album with all tracks, you can actually buy the tracks individually. Once again, the name of the album, it's very simple, Merry Christmas 2025, and it's available everywhere. Joan of Angels is our special guest, and if you'd like to find out more about Joan, her website is joanofangels.com. Joan, you said something that kind of grabbed my attention just before we went to the break, was that we volunteer to come to Earth. Why would we volunteer to come to this planet when I'm sure there are other planets, other realities, other dimensions that are much more stable than this wacky world of ours?
Well, that's a good point, Rob. It's a challenging planet. That's why they're sending it to us. This is a planet that's about to go into an ascension process. It's been very, very chaotic. Planet Earth needs help to clear away the negativity, the certain extraterrestrial races, certain energetic upgrades that we really need down here. And we as individuals go through our own soul growth. So you have a soul purpose, I have a soul purpose. And for many of us, it is growth. And people do come down here, they volunteer, they get this. I had a mentor that used to say, well, Joan, they asked, they offered you extra bonus pay and, travel around the galaxy as a reward.
Oh.
But I know, right? Bonus pay.
Can I come with you? I'll carry your luggage.
You know what?
I work cheap. I really do.
You're on.
All
You're
right.
absolutely on. Carry my luggage. But
All
Rob,
right.
you have a purpose too, and it's a matter, and probably you have a purpose about waking people up. That's part of your soul mission. You've been doing this show quite a long time.
Yeah.
And there's a purpose to you doing it and reaching, your tribe. So we all have this purpose, but as I said, your memory is wiped clean when you get here. And so half of your life, or most of your life, is about remembering why you came here, remembering what gifts you had. It's like you don't really need to learn remote viewing. You just need to remember how to do it.
Is this where people who have memories of past lives come in? Is this where reincarnation has something to do with the memories that they have, or is this something totally different?
No, it's completely the same.
Ah.
Okay. It's part of the same process. There's so many young children that come in and they remember.
Yeah.
They'll start talking to their parents and talking about a town in India, and they're here in Wisconsin. Like, how would they even know? And they know the names and the town and the villages. They could tell you how they died. And there's been crimes that have been solved because these little kids remember who killed them in that other lifetime. And that's part of proving that the past life experiences are real.
How do we know what our mission is, Joan?
Oh, well, that's the essence of my work, Rob. We start to really look at it is. So there's a process I take my clients through, which is to go back to a really simple part of it is we create a poster board.
Okay.
And we put you in the center. So there'd be Rob in his poster, Joan in her poster. And then all around that, little circles, all the different things you wanted to be when you grew up, the different qualities that you have, your skills, your personality traits, what other people say about you, your hobbies. And you get it all out on this board, and you start to see the threads that are within them. And that starts to give you clarity. Now, your mission is not the job that you hold. It's an energy field. Like part of my mission is to wake people up. That's exactly what I've been doing for many, many years. Even as a chiropractor, I was waking people up. But I do it through different ways. I do it through coaching. I do it through my art. I do it through chiropractic. I do it through these different ways. I do it through my shows. But the mission is always about helping people remember who they are so they can wake up. When you remember who you are, Rob, then you activate a certain higher frequency, because you start to get in that alignment, a resonance with what your soul is really here for. And then you notice that things start to work better for you, more aligned, more resonant. The right people come in. Synchronicities happen almost simultaneously. So the more you can remember that, the better. But if you want to know your soul purpose, the first thing is remembering, waking up, remembering you're here for more, and starting to access, as I said, on that soul board, kind of the things that you're really good at. And then, I do programs with people where I take you through a program where you can actually step into your soul vision and you can learn what it is. You can create your soul blueprint, which is really fantastic to see what you really came here. And now I came here to be a bridge between heaven and earth, because I can walk that path. I came here as a harmonic resonator to help people actually resonate with their frequency and their vibrations.
How did you recognize this? And how did you feel once you recognized who, what, when, where, why, and how Joan of Angels was? How did it change your life?
Well, Rob, it's kind of interesting. Joan of Angels was born in maybe 2015 or 2013 when I began painting. Mm-hmm. But over the years, I've discovered that I have a really strong connection to Joan of Arc also.
Really?
And I'm really a blend now of Joan of Arc and Joan of Angels, with a sole purpose that's of globally reaching the planet to help people around the world start to step into this memory of it.
When you connect with your angels and you communicate, I would imagine that at times they're very happy. And I would imagine when things go awry on this planet and there are so many lives that are lost through either a natural disaster or through war, that they get sad. How do they rationalize their emotions?
I don't think they really have those kinds of emotions, Rob. They're here, from another dimension. Mm-hmm. They're here to advise us. They're here to kind of push us a little bit, whisper in our ear if we need support and help and guidance to get there. But they don't really have a feeling about whether or not you said yes. Gotcha. So in other words, in 2020, I started to think that I should go a little weird, because times were weird. That was the whole pandemic. And I heard a voice that repeated itself for several days. It says, "Oh, you think you're the only Joan of Angels on the planet, huh? Well, guess what? There's other people lined up to do the work that you came here to do if you can't do it." Oh. So if you say yes to your mission, Rob, they'll help you all the way. If you say no, it's like next life.
Okay. I understand to this point, and I see why you do what you do and why you're so darn good at it. And I know that there are many people listening tonight that you've touched their hearts and their lives in a very special way. Once this mission is over and the angel within each one of us escapes this meat suit that we have while we're here on this plane and on this dimension, and we go back to wherever it is we came from, do we have a life review with other angels to see how we did and what we can do, or what other angels who volunteer to go back to this planet in the future can do to make it better?
Yes. When you pass, you do have a life review. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's different for everyone else, but you get a chance to look at all of your encounters and your impact on people. So you have this life review. And they have your soul blueprint right there. Right. And they look at and see if you manage to accomplish that. And most of us get sent back. Now, the goal is to ascend and not get sent back, okay, and to go back home. But it seems like it's becoming difficult to really get off the planet at this moment.
I would imagine so. With all the disruption in natural frequencies, I can only imagine that there's a major disruption in the angelic frequencies and vibrations as well.
And the galactic frequencies.
Yeah. Where do angels come from? What is the origin of an angel? I mean, not the angel mission that JOAN of Angels is taking, but using JOAN of Angels, where did JOAN of Angels start? How long ago? What dimension?
What a beautiful question. That is such a beautiful question. I'm a 15th dimensional soul.
Okay.
And that's where my other sides live, up in that 15th dimensional aspect. We all have aspects, by the way, guys, that are in another dimension or on a ship somewhere, depending on what frequencies you are carrying. And so when we do that, it's a matter of learning how to work with all these different sides of you and bringing them together. So I was told once I'm a 33-degree soul walk-in or celestial walk-in. Well, what does that mean? It means that I'm a hard nut to crack. It took me 32 upgrades to get to this point where I can come on TV, on the show,
right,
and feel that I've really begun to merge and stepped into my best version of myself.
Do you have, as JOAN of Angel, as the angel in JOAN of Angel, do you have parents and family that you go back to see once this mission is accomplished on this planet?
Yes. So then that's also an interesting question. Yes, we have soul family. We have soul family on other planets.
Okay.
We have soul family throughout the galaxy, and we have our soul family that's been with us, excuse me, here on the planet.
All right, stand by, Joan. You and I have to take our break at the bottom of the hour. X-Zone Nation, our guest this hour is JOAN of Angels. Her website is joanofangels.com. Wow. Angels, my favorite topic. I love angels.
Great.
I love
I'm
angels.
happy to be back.
And, Christmas is a very special time. It seems that everyone believes in angels at Christmas time, and I just wish they'd believe in angels the rest of the year, because it would be a better place for one and all.
So have you had angelic encounters?
I will, and I'll tell you about it on the other side. This is the X-Zone, and we'll be back on the other side of this break as we continue. And if you're listening to us on your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ AM in St. Catharines on classic1220.ca. Don't go away.
Voices sing of love and hope and cheer. From the northern lights to city streets, the message rings so clear. It's Christmas across Canada, that special time of year. In Toronto's busy city lights, in small towns tucked away, neighbors share a friendly smile on this blessed holiday. From St. Catherine's down to Halifax. When the snow is gently falling, covering the ground, and the laughter of the children is the sweetest sound. There's magic in the air as the evening starts to glow. With our hearts wide open, it's the time we let love show. We gather round the fireplace, sharing tales of old, of Christmases remembered, of warmth against the cold. It's a season of togetherness with hope that won't depart. So let's create a melody that will fill every heart. Let the sleigh bells ring, hear the chimes so clear.
Joan of Angels is my guest this hour. JoanOfAngels.com is her website. Angels, as I was saying, is my favorite topic. And yes, I've seen an angel. I saw an angel at a very young age. My brother was very sick. I'll just make this a short story. My brother was very sick. We nearly lost him. Everyone was down at my grandmother's house because she was the hub of the family. And my mom and dad were at the hospital with my brother, and it did not look good for him. He's my younger brother. And I was in the kitchen, and I was looking at where the closet was, and there was this man with beautiful blue eyes, wearing a white robe, with a beard, white hair, and my grandmother, and he was smiling at me, and my grandmother said, "Bobby, what are you looking at?" I said, "That man over," and when I pointed to where I saw this man before, he was gone. Just as I said that, the phone rang. It was my mom from the hospital. My brother had turned the corner, and he was going to be okay. I know in my heart of hearts, Joan, that I saw an angel. That feeling of comfort, peace, and joy when I was that young boy on St. Roch Street at my grandmother's house, I'll never forget. I will never forget. And that's why I believe in angels.
Well, that's a beautiful memory and very, very clear.
Yeah.
And they probably came to comfort you.
I know that they did. And it was just, I can't explain the feeling. The closest I can come is unconditional love, a warmth that just fills you with love, comfort, compassion, and knowing that there is something much greater out there that we're part of. That no matter what university we go to, no matter what degrees we accumulate here on this plane, we'll never understand it. But it's there, and we're part of it.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. And knowing that, you can never lose that knowingness.
Nope.
That's always there with you.
There was this one other time that I'll share with you quickly. It was a dream. I remember falling asleep. I had just put the youngest one to bed. I was really tired, so I just figured, I'll just lay down for a few minutes. And I fell into a very deep sleep. And when I woke up in my dream, it was black. And I said to myself, oh, this is what being dead is like. When I said that, the blackness separated, and there were these beautiful golden doors that opened up. And as these doors opened up, there were two tiers that were divided in the middle. There were 3 men on each side, both tiers. That would be 12. And then there was what I consider to be the leader or God sitting on a throne in the middle, and on his right-hand side to the back was another gentleman that I could only describe as Jesus based on my religious philosophies that I have studied. Mm-hmm. Once again, that feeling of warmth, love, compassion filled me. And the message I was getting was, keep going. You're nearly there. Don't give up. Keep going. And I recognized the white robes on these people. I recognized the blue eyes. I recognized the white hair. I recognized the smiles. And as the final saying that I'll call him God, was saying that, keep going, you're nearly there, don't give up, I was being pulled back. the golden doors closed. And I woke up. Now, the first time I saw the angel, I was about 6 or 7. This dream was about 20 years ago. Same feeling. Same appearance of these angels. Same feeling inside. And I'd love to have that dream again.
I love it. You're very fortunate to have a dream like that. And obviously they were letting you know when they closed the doors that you couldn't go to the other side yet.
Yeah.
But they wanted you to know that they're there, that you're not alone.
I feel very fortunate. I really do. And my belief growing up ever since I was young was the difference between a dream and reality is just doing it. The dream is the idea, and the implementation of the idea brings you to the end, which is reality. And and that's one of the many reasons I love angels, and I love people who talk about angels like you do, and who help so many other people have an experience that I can only share with them. Because unless you've gone through the experiences that I have, or go to someone like you who are able to take them to that place, let them know what angels are, man, people are missing a lot. They're missing a connection, a little opening of the curtain to see who the man behind the curtain is. Something to hope for. Something that lets you know that there's more to this life than we will ever know. And I think this is where what you were saying about everyone has a mission comes into play.
Yeah, you're really right. So that's an incredible experience to have that, to have that certainty, Rob. Many people don't have it. But the signs are all around us. So, but many people are too busy to listen.
Yeah.
So for instance, for me, I don't know how many times a week when I need support, I'll drive by a sign and it's like Miracle Road. I go, Miracle Road? I never even saw that. Or Celestial Way. There's a Celestial Way in Sedona. Right. You drive down certain streets and you see a sign that says Angel Way or Angel View. And your angels are right there.
Yeah.
Or you pick up a coin. My dad years ago said to me, Joan, whenever you see a coin on the ground, pick it up and you'll know I'm with you. And that's true. I always feel him when I do that. So we can pay attention. We can listen to songs on the radio and suddenly hear a song about angels.
Yeah.
And it could be the exact answer that you needed to your question.
We're too busy in society these days. We pay too much attention to the handheld devices that keep us from seeing what is right around us.
Right.
People have said to me, oh, come on, there's no such thing as a miracle, Rob. No? Take a look at a little baby's smile. Take a look at the flowers. Take a look at nature. And the list goes on. You just have to take time to look up, put your iPad away, or take the earbuds out of your ear, and get back to nature. Nature is filled with miracles. People just are too darn busy, in my opinion, Joan, to realize how simple life really is. It is we humans that complicate it.
Well, that's true too. We do complicate it. We sometimes are too busy to even listen, or the message may come and you don't want to do it. And that happens. And when that happens, by the way, it could backfire on you. So when your angels are calling, like paint 33 angels in 30 days, Joan, that was the solution for my next step and literally transformed my life. Had I said no, Rob, they wouldn't have come back for quite a while, and I wouldn't be here on the show with you. There's a trajectory, that when we have these moments of encounters that can change our life.
Well, I'm very glad that you did those 33 paintings, because I'm very happy that you come on this show and share your wisdom and your knowledge. And I think that you're an ambassador an emissary for angels. You spread the word far and wide.
I am an emissary for angels, and it's very, very true. And I'm an emissary for people really beginning to connect with their angels and beginning to connect with their purpose and remember why they're here and live the best version of yourself.
It must be very gratifying to you when you have someone who has had no idea, or they were a staunch skeptic when it comes to the belief of angels. When the light comes on and they say, now I get it.
It's an interesting moment. I encounter a lot of skeptics, Rob. And, they'll come to me for readings and they'll say, well, I don't do this. You're not going to be able to read me. And before you know it, the answers start coming in about their resistances and why maybe they're so blocked and what they need to release. We all, as part of our soul purpose, we have a mission, but we have challenges. It's not like it's so easy to do. There's challenges in learning to say yes. There's challenges in overcoming your fear or being courageous, or, listening to your voice within as opposed to your family. So it's not so easy sometimes for some people.
No, it's not. And I would imagine that it's harder for people who think they know everything, but when they kind of learn that there's much more to life, as well as the reality that you live in, because you've got both, 1 foot into this dimension, you've got 1 foot into the other dimension, and you're the emissary for the angels. So they can only imagine that, wow, what a lady. I'm glad that she's helping me to understand and to evolve. So stand by. You and I have to take our final break. X-Zone Nation, my guest this hour, Dr. Joan of Angels. I nearly said Joan of Arc. Dr. Joan of Angels is with us. www.joanofangels.com. This is the X-Zone. I'm Rob McConnell. We'll be back on the other side of the short break. Don't go away.
Let the sleigh bells ring, hear the chimes so clear, a lively song to sing, spreading Christmas cheer. With every joyful note, let the music play, we'll dance beneath the stars in our own special way. Snowflakes falling on Ontario Street, downtown lights are shining soft and sweet, voices laughing, sleigh bells near. It's the magic time of year. From Port Dalhousie to Merritton's glow, families gather where warm hearts go. There's peace and love, the world feels right on this gentle Christmas night. It's Christmas in St. Catharines, where the well and waters gleam.
And welcome back, everyone. Joan of Angels is my very special guest this hour. www.joanofangels.com. And Joan, thank you so much for coming on the show. Always a great pleasure talking to you. And you and I were chatting briefly during the break about Christmas and how there's a lot of people at Christmas time who don't have the ability to have a joyous Christmas like so many of us do. How do the angels help people like that at Christmas time?
It's a really difficult time. It's a difficult time if you've lost people in your life, or if you're just having all sorts of issues. It's not easy sailing for many people.
Right.
But, you do the best you can. I call it chop wood, carry water. You put your head straight and you manage with what you have. and start counting your blessings. And if you're feeling alone, then you can do what I do. You can sit down with a pen and paper and start asking your angels questions. And sometimes you'll hear them.
Can anyone learn to communicate with their angels?
Yes, anyone can. But you have to be willing. You have to be open. You have to be able to sit still long enough to hear them and to hear the messages that are coming through for you.
You've said that angels have a message for humanity right now. What is that message, Joan?
We're so glad you asked. First of all, I'm tuning in as we speak. They're telling us this is a time to breathe, that this next period of time is called the time in between it. We're in the in-between zone. We're in the in-between zone in our country, in the globe, in terms of, and also in this Aquarian new age where things are dissolving. There's a chaos that's in the air. But know that this chaos is only part of the clearing away. Like humanity, each of us has to go through clearing and letting go of what no longer serves you. You cannot get to heaven with a barrel full of your problems. It doesn't work like that. There's a necessity for humans to clear their field, to let go of what no longer serves them, people, places, and things. And the planet, actually 2025, is about that. But notice that the more you let go of what no longer serves you, the easier it's going to be to hear your direction, to hear that voice within, the voice that'll tell you your very next step. And take that next step with confidence and courage, because we're all being awakened right now. We're being shaken to our core, and we're being awakened simultaneously.
How do the angels view the current state of global affairs and spiritual confusion?
Earth is going through a huge rebirth, Rob, and there's an ascension wave happening, and many, many people are waking up, and this has happened ever since 2020, really very quickly. And as we look down at the planet, we see more people waking up, remembering who they are, and stepping forward in the light, basically, and in being of service to others. This is the time to be of service to others right now. If you're feeling uneasy or you don't know what's next for you, find someone who needs something and give it to them, or take care of them, or cook a meal, or bring them flowers. And get out of your little self and start getting back into that bigger self. Yes, the planet is going through trials and tribulations, but they are part of the clearing that's going to be necessary for the awakening and the freeing of humanity, because humanity has been an enslaved race for billions or millions of years. So it's really time for Earth to break free. And we are the Earthlings that will do that.
It's time we all become part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
Easier said than done, but so true, Rob. So true. Yes.
What are some of the most common misconceptions about angels or spirit guides?
Well, that's even a good one. A misconception about them. Well, people may not trust the voice that they hear. There's always that. Or they may not be able to get in contact with their angels, and frustration around that. Also, when you receive messages, we're talking as if all the messages you get are good. Well, I get mostly really good messages. I've actually never gotten bad messages. But it's really important to really feel into the messages that you're getting, or the encounters that you're getting, so that you can feel if they feel at a high vibrational frequency for you.
So how can listeners who want to practice what we've been talking about tonight, how can they tell the difference between a true angelic message or their imagination?
They feel different. But, I heard something a few years ago, Rob, this is many years ago, when I was in the UK looking at crop circles. And people said, well, if they're not made by the extraterrestrials, they're not real. But there was a whole trend of thought that said, if someone gets a thought in their head to go out and make those crop circles themselves, that too was channeled, because that prompting, that calling, that push to go and make a man-made crop circle is still there.
Gotcha.
And it's the same thing with channelings. There are times that I've received information and my whole mode was act as if. I'm going to act as if this is real. And actually, that's what happened with the art. I said, oh, well, okay. I said, yes, I'm going to act like this is real. I'm going to paint those 33 angels. I am going to see what happens, because where I am right now, nothing could be worse than where I am right now. So I'm just going to say yes and see what happens. You know what, Rob? I painted those 33 angels. I put them up in the angel. Now the new angel loft. And guess what? A book falls off the bookshelf. I probably told you this. And it opens to this spot that said, your call for angelic assistance has been heard. Now, I only got that message because I actually painted those angels and put them up on the wall. So I listened. So oftentimes when we get promptings from our guides, if we don't listen, you do not get the next step. They'll go to someone else and give them the next step. So part of this is an agreement we have to listen, to say yes, to start to pay attention.
So if they go on to the next person, what happens to you? What happens to the person that they've decided to, this person, and they go on to the next? Is that person left to fend for themselves? Doesn't the lack of communication with angels leave a void in their body and their soul and their heart?
Oh my God, it sounds like a fate worse than death, especially the way you describe it.
Yeah.
Well, yes. So, if you say yes to the mission, they'll give you all the support you need.
Okay.
And then they'll give you the next message and the next step and the next step. But if you say no, like if I had said no, I think my life would have gotten worse, Rob. In 2020, when they told me that it was time for me to step up, I immediately offered 30 days of I don't know, it was an intuitive channeling, 30 days of it. I hopped online because I had to discipline myself again and get back in the mode. Yeah, if you don't listen to that wisdom, things can go south for you sometimes.
You've worked with people experiencing trauma or deep emotional pain over the years, Joan. How do the angels help in those moments?
Well, no one should go through deep emotional pain alone, Rob. So in the sheer act of going through it, if you have a companion, a spouse, a friend, or an angel guide to be with you, if you know that they're with you, if you write a letter to your angel, and you can simply write a letter and tell them of your misery and your trauma and ask for help. And then put it on your altar or put it under a crystal and just know that they're going to get back to you. You are not alone, and if you open yourself up to receive, you will hear.
Can angels come in the form of animals that become our best companions or best friends?
That's the answer to that. I bet you already know the answer to that. Yes, of course they can. They can. Animals are our angel companions.
Yeah.
And angels come in the form of certain friends that, that suddenly do something so amazing for you that you can hardly believe it. And it was just what you needed. And they said, I don't know, I just got a prompting to help you. Were they guided and prompted by their angels to help? What goes around comes around, and we're all interconnected.
In your opinion, Joan, what is the biggest challenge facing spiritual seekers like yourself in today's world?
Well, it's not an easy path, and it is an easy path. So the higher you get, the more awake you get, the narrower your path gets. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but your path gets very, very narrow. And so your choices become less, and because you're being guided to choose the path of ascension. And so each time you come to a crossroads, it's another initiation, basically, because you have the opportunity to say yes or no. And
Free will.
many people say no.
I've Got about a minute left, Joan. What is your final message that you'd like to share with the X Zone Nation tonight?
Oh, I love you guys. I love this show. I just want everyone to know that I'm here for you. If you are having any issues, if you're really confused about your next steps, or you're feeling like I'm not the woman I thought I was going to be, or you're going through life transitions and you really want to step into that best version of yourself, become that woman you always wanted to be, reach out to me. And I also, by the way, I do work with men, and I do soul vision sessions. So what I suggest is you go to the website and you sign up for the website, of course, but go to the About Me or Contact Me and put a note in there, and I will reach out to you. And we'll see what next steps would work for you. I'm there, especially going into the holidays, guys. I want you to know you have my support.
Joan, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show tonight. Always a great pleasure speaking with you. Do me a favor. Give my best to my angels.
Absolutely, Rob. I love being on your show.
Joan, take care of yourself. X Zone Nation, our guest tonight this hour has been Joan of Angels. Her website is joanofangels.com. That's it for tonight, X Zone Nation. I'll be back tomorrow night at 10 o'clock as once again we cross this time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. A place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. A place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. until midnight. Right here on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, CFAJ AM, streaming us on classic1220.ca, and on the X Zone Broadcast Network, Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network, and on Tuber, and in Canada on Rogers, Shaw, and Videotron. From everyone here to everyone out there, good night, everyone, and always keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light. Good night, everyone.
Families gather